Hello, everyone. I'm here with Dr. Alejandro Junger. I'm a huge fan of his work. He comes from a regular Western medicine, and he studied in India, Eastern medicine, and he created the Clean program, combining the two modalities. I wanted to have you come here and talk about importance of detox and how detox is so valuable for spiritual growth, for mental health. So I want to get started with that immediately since we have a very limited time. So hello and welcome, first of all.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Before we start, I want to say that I'm an NLP coach and I coach people on well-being overall their life. So before we start, I always recommend them to do the Clean program, which I've done recently, because I believe we hold a lot of emotions in our liver, and most anger is held in liver. So when we start coaching, I actually literally put them on Clean week before, and we get starting so they have clarity, they have better sleep, therefore their mood is better. So I want to
anger in the liver, sadness in the lungs, fear in the kidneys. Every organ is specialized in an emotion, in storing certain emotions.
So this is why this is a huge part of my coaching program. It's very kind of Clean. Actually, now I'm able to give all my clients 15% discount code so we can get started. So please tell us the benefits of detox besides having physical benefits, the emotional benefits of detox.
In Ayurvedic medicine, toxicity is all housed under one name. The umbrella name is Ama. And in Sanskrit, in Ayurvedic medicine, Ama makes no distinction between the toxins of the body, the toxins of the mind, and the toxins of the emotion. All kinds of toxicity are named Ama. So what they say in Ayurvedic medicine is that one type of toxicity brings another. For example, if you are having toxic thoughts and toxic emotions, they will give you the desire or the cravings to eat toxic food. The other way around is also true. The more toxic foods you eat, the more toxic thoughts and toxic emotions you attract, because they respond to the principle of resonance. You know, they're all low vibrational frequency manifestations, and one attracts the other. So when you do anything to enhance the detoxification system of the body, the benefits do not limit themselves to the body. They extend themselves to the mental realm and to the emotional realm as well. And in fact, many of the patients that I see and put through the Clean program very commonly report back, sometimes even more so, the benefits, the mental and emotional benefits than the benefits in the body.
I did a 10-day water fast last year. And day 3, I started having emotional breakdown because things were leaving my body and it was coming to the surface. Now I don't do 10 days anymore. Now I do 3 days every 3 months. I just don't eat anything for 3 days. But going through your program, you recommend not doing water fast because
that's not true. That's not true. No. It's true in part. The thing is this: the less that your body digests, the less work happening in the digestive system, the more intense the detox processes are turned on. So the most intense way of turning your detox system on is water fasting. Now, if you think about it, it is not by chance that all religions include some form of fasting. The Jews fast for Yom Kippur, the Catholics for Lent, the Muslims for Ramadan, the Buddhists fast all the time. So the giants of spirituality, the big spiritual leaders, they knew this, and they inserted this practice in their spiritual teachings. That's not a coincidence. That's not just out of the blue, right? The problem with water fasting 2,000 years ago or 5,000 years ago, when these spiritual giants talked about and taught about it, the problems were not as intense as these days, because in those times people were eating real foods. Today we are exposed to more chemicals than ever in the air that we breathe, in the water that we drink and shower with, in the medications that we consume, in the cosmetics that we apply on our body, in the clothing and the detergents that we wash the clothing with, our furniture, our architecture, but mostly the food-like products, the edible stuff that we consume as food. They're loaded with chemicals that alone or in combination end up causing some kind of symptom or disease, but by many mechanisms, either by increasing oxidative stress, or by blocking or imitating certain hormones or certain nerve pathways, by blocking or impeding absorbing certain nutrients, by damaging directly certain tissues and organs. So at the times when the Buddha and Jesus Christ were fasting and teaching people to fast, we were not exposed to so many chemicals. But people living a regular life in a modern city in America or anywhere around the world that are exposed to all these chemicals and are eating all this edible stuff with lots of chemicals. If you go into a water fasting as your first thing, as your first experience of detoxification, it could be, and it generally is, too intense. So I don't recommend jumping into water fasting as your first experience in fasting, unless you are already pretty clean or have experience in doing it, right?
Yeah.
So for the average Joe, it can be even dangerous.
I see. I eat pretty clean. I eat whole foods and I follow moderate ketogenic lifestyle. So when I did the clean, day 3, I just wanted to sleep. And I knew it was part of the detox. My body was doing so much work and I was peeing a lot. And I see those as, okay, the detox is working. So also intermittent fasting. I'm a huge fan of intermittent fasting. And you recommend 12 hours. In the book, it said, in the box, it says 12 hours. We can go up to 18. I'm assuming it's okay. Do you recommend intermittent fasting every day, even after we're done with the detox?
I don't recommend it every day, and I don't recommend it for everybody. People with adrenal exhaustion shouldn't be intermittently fasting. Pregnant women, probably, and lactating women shouldn't be intermittently fasting. People that have some kind of disease where they need a more constant blood sugar level. I don't recommend intermittent fasting as a first practice. And people in general with no metabolic flexibility, right? You have to break into this practice if you're metabolically rigid. What does that mean? That your body is used to a certain way of functioning and receiving certain kinds of fuels and stimulants and downers or whatever it is that you are self-medicating with through foods or edible stuff, right? So but the healthier you get, the more that you can intermittently fast and for longer times and the more frequently that you can do it, since it becomes easier and less uncomfortable and with less possibility of negative side effects.
I see. As women, before period, it's not recommended to fast 5 days prior. Is that true?
Well, that's what I hear, and that's what my experience is when I deal with women. When they do fast during those times, they don't do as well.
They don't do as well. What do you recommend after someone is done with the Clean program?
I recommend that you do the reintroduction of foods very carefully, because in essence, the biggest aspect or the biggest component of the good results that one gets during the Clean program is the foods that you are avoiding. And if you want to maintain those results, you're probably better off avoiding those foods for the long term. But some people can't live without their yogurt or without their cheese or without their pizza or whatever it is that people are addicted to. So I recommend they do the reintroduction of these foods carefully and in an investigative way, so that they can really fully understand how these foods affect them, if they affect them negatively, and how they affect them negatively, so they can understand how often or if they can eat them at all.
You also talk about combination of foods that is important. How we combine what we eat it has an effect on our body. What do you mean by that?
Well, I don't talk too much about combination. What I do say is that we combine too many things sometimes. We have an appetizer, and then the meal, and then a dessert, and then coffee with a biscuit, or so too much combination of too many different things has a bigger chance of giving you negative results than when you eat more simply. Because if you look around in nature, animals eat simply, and they don't get sick.
Yes. What's the difference between clean detox and a regular detox?
Well, I don't know what a regular detox is. Tell me what you're talking about, and I'll tell you the difference. But in general, clean is designed by a doctor with a lot of experience, who's guided thousands of people through the process, who studied functional medicine, is very familiar with the detoxification systems in the body and their interactions with the other systems in the body. And other detoxes around there are designed by, models and actresses and influencers or anybody really. And many times they don't really know what they're talking about. So you gotta be careful. Not all detoxes are created equal.
No, what I like about Clean, when the toxins are leaving our body, your supplements that you actually have helps after the fact. So, okay, my liver is releasing all the bile that it's unwanted. Now with these supplements, I can actually get rid of it, flush it out of my system. I think
The
that
supplements included in the program, they all have a certain role in supporting one aspect or several aspects of the detoxification processes. And they're very intentional. They're not just good sounding or in fashion supplements. You know, they're there for a reason, and we can go through the biochemistry and the biology of it. They are there for a very important reason, and they work.
Yes, I know. I do it very often. I do actually the 7-day every 3 months, and I do the 21-day once every 6 months.
Oh my God, you're an A student.
I love it.
I'd like to be like you.
Well, I'm obsessed with health and wellness, and if I'm teaching this to people, I want to be walking the walk, and I really see the benefits. My question is, can anyone start this program if they're on antidepressant or any kind of medication? Because most of the people I work with, they're kind of either coming out of it or they're on some sort of pills, because 5 out of 1.
The contraindications to do the program are if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, if you have advanced diseases like advanced cancer, you know, where emaciation and being too skinny can be a problem because the cancers eat you from the inside. If you have type 1 diabetes, if you are taking medications that need a constant blood level like antiarrhythmics, antiepileptics, anticoagulants, those are the contraindications. Other than that, most people will have no problem. In fact, they'll benefit a lot from it.
Great. Thank you so much for coming over, and thank you so much for enlightening me and everyone who's watching. I really appreciate your time. I know you're super busy. I'm a little starstruck.
It's a pleasure to talk to you. I love your enthusiasm, and I'm going to see if I can be as good as you with my schedule of detox.
I am the way I am because of you.
You just inspire me. Sometimes the student surpasses the teacher, and I think that we are in one of those cases.
I am helping people with their programming on the software. So I always say, in order for us to update the software, we have to clean the hardware, and let's start with clean. So
I love it. I love it. I'm inspired. Thank you for the good work, and keep spreading the word. And thank you for inviting me and having me over.
I'm so honored. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Thank you. Bye.